buckle up because today I'm diving into Ahsoka Episode 4. I'll be breaking down the episode, pointing out Easter eggs, explaining expanded universe connections, giving my review, and speculating about what's to come. But first, smash that like button and hit subscribe because I've got some massive news about my Shadows of the Empire fan film adaptation for you at the end of this video. The episode kicks off with Ahsoka, Sabine, and Hugh working feverishly to repair their ship on Cetos. Ahsoka lays down some classic Jedi wisdom, reminding Sabine that when it comes to choosing between finding Ezra and risking Thrawn's return, it's better to put your emotions aside and thwart your enemies. Trouble brews as they're spotted and battle some minions. The clash between Hugh and the HK-87 droid was spectacular. The showdown reminded me of the T-800 vs T-1000 fight in Terminator 2. After they toast all the minions, Ahsoka and Sabine head for the reflex point. Hera's had enough of politics and decides to join the fray on Cetos, bringing along her son Jason and Captain Carson Teva, who has appeared in 4 episodes of The Mandalorian and 1 episode of the Book of Boba Fett. Jason Syndulla has some uncanny similarities to the expanded universe's Jason Solo, but if you want my full thoughts on that, check out my episode 3 review where I dive into it in more detail. Surrounding the reflex point is navigational equipment working overtime to plot a course to another galaxy. Baylan notes that on a journey this long, one small miscalculation and they'll end up in the void. Hyperspace lanes avoid stars, planets, nebulas, and asteroid fields because you wouldn't want your ship crashing into something. On a short journey, a small degree off is negligible, but on a long journey, such as one to another galaxy, 1/1000th of a degree off and you could plow into a star or miss the destination altogether. So this calculation takes time, which becomes the ticking clock of the episode. Ahsoka and Sabine cross paths with Shin and Marok. Ahsoka takes down Marok swiftly, but he's just a phantom created by Night Sister magic. All those theories about Marok, up in smoke. We'll get into the nitty gritty of this letdown later. Ahsoka skedaddles to retrieve the map. We also see here that Sabine uses the Force for the first time on screen in a very negligible way. Sabine and Shin's battle ends in a draw with Shin ducking out. Why she missed this opportunity to strike a killing blow, I do not know. This was also a missed opportunity to call back to Sabine's Zatoichi training from the previous episode. Having the two fight with impaired vision would have been cool, but moving on. Ahsoka confronts Baylan and he teases her about her past. His motives are still somewhat of a mystery. I suspect he wants to make this journey for a different reason than the return of Thrawn. They duel for a little bit until Ahsoka snatches the map, stopping the jump calculation dead in its tracks. The device burns in her hand and she tosses it. Shin's return leads Ahsoka to believe that Sabine met her end and her emotions erupt. Sabine returns and threatens to destroy the map unless Baylan frees Ahsoka. Ahsoka orders Sabine to destroy it regardless, but when push comes to shove, Sabine hesitates. Baylan calls her bluff and overpowers Ahsoka, sending her over the cliff into the craggy rocks below. Baylan mentions that all of Sabine's family died on Mandalore. Near the end of Star Wars Rebels, Bo-Katan led a rebellion against the Empire. In retaliation, the Empire carpet-bombed the entire planet, killing nearly all the Mandalorians who were on the planet. This would have included Sabine's mother, Ursa Wren, her father, Ulrich Wren, and her brother, Tristan Wren. Baylan intuits that Sabine feels Ezra is the only family she has left and gives her an ultimatum. Join them to find Ezra or destroy the map and lose him forever. Sabine's emotions cloud her judgment and she hands the map back to Baylan, who resumes the calculations. Once complete, he destroys the map so that they cannot be followed. Hugh reestablishes comms with Hera, warning her not to let the hyperdrive ring escape.
What you say?
Do the thing.
I've got a bad feeling.
There it is!
Ahsoka wakes up in what appears to be the world between worlds from Star Wars Rebels. When Ahsoka wakes up and turns around, she's greeted by none other than Force Ghost Anakin just before the episode ends. The episode is titled Fallen Jedi, which could refer to several things. Baylan is a fallen Jedi, Ahsoka is a fallen Jedi who falls, Sabine could also be considered that, and at the end we see a redeemed fallen Jedi who fell pretty far. This is probably the best episode of the show so far. I had one big gripe with it, but the pacing was spot on, things actually happened, and it didn't feel padded to fill the runtime like previous episodes. The combat looked great, and there were clearly defined goals, obstacles, and conflict. The best part was that it wasn't ripping off or disrespecting the expanded universe. However, the elephant in the room is the Marok reveal. That build-up was a hollow and ultimately empty mystery box. I wouldn't have disliked the idea of a phantom created by Night Sister magic if that was established from their first appearance and they looked more like it. A scene set after Morgan Organ's release, showing her using Night Sister magic to do more than light a green candle and create Marok would have been cool. But keeping it a mystery and revealing it like this was very underwhelming. Using an Inquisitor design for a Night Sister puppet was an unwise choice to make. Putting a returning character under the mask could have held a lot of storytelling potential, with resolution to Ahsoka's history with Barriss probably having the most potential. It's not yet clear if this was an empty outfit or if Marok was some random Inquisitor Elsbeth had resurrected or possessed to do her bidding. I suspect that the character of Marok will age like milk now that the mystery is over and there's nothing interesting about him. As for EU connections, there was a blink and you'll miss it moment when Ahsoka name dropped the book title of Thrawn's first appearance.
Better that than allowing Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
He said it! He said it!
A cheap nod, but let's not play the nostalgic card if you're not planning to faithfully adapt Heir to the Empire. The ending, however, was a big moment. Anakin returns as a Force Ghost, played by Hayden Christensen, as he was seen in the special edition of Return of the Jedi. Force Ghost Anakin was originally played by Sebastian Shaw, but was changed to Hayden in the 2004 special edition. Despite my overall negative view of the Kenobi show, I would say that seeing Hayden's investment into playing Anakin again was great to see, and the same is true here. Matt Lanter, the voice actor of Anakin in Star Wars The Clone Wars, has come to be a defining voice for the character. Hayden said that for Kenobi, he listened very closely to Matt Lanter's version of Anakin and has blended it with his own, and I think that the result is a better performance. Anakin's Force Ghost also appeared several times after Return of the Jedi in the expanded universe. He appeared to Luke and Leia several times. Many years later, he would also appear to his grandson Jason Solo and to his great-great-great-great-great-grandson Kate Skywalker. So what does Anakin appearing to Ahsoka mean for the future? Time travel, flashbacks, or visions? Rumors abound, but we do know that actress Savannah Stein is playing a younger Clone Wars era Ahsoka. Could we see Ahsoka on Mustafar? A recreated Malachor duel? Ahsoka and Maul as seen in these unconfirmed set leaks? It's all up in the air, but I suspect these scenes will be guided by Force Ghost Anakin showing these scenes to Ahsoka to illustrate one final lesson to her. It's unclear where Ahsoka is at the end of this episode, but it appears to be the world between worlds as seen in Star Wars Rebels, or she could just be washed up on the beach having a vision, or she's dead or dying and in Force Heaven. In the trailers, we can see a shot of Hera at the reflex point, so I'm guessing Hera will be the one to save her. With the map gone and Sabine aboard the Eye of Sion, what happens next? I predict that Sabine will double cross Baylan. I think that she knew that Baylan would have stopped her and found Thrawn regardless of what she did. So in surrendering, she ensured that she was on that ship. In the intro, good characters get blue light and bad characters get red. Sabine's helmet gets red light, so maybe this is foreshadowing her falling to the dark side. A character in the expanded universe who struggled to use the Force like Sabine, but discovered that she could only use the dark side was Callista Ming. Because of this limitation, she abstained from using the Force. Perhaps Sabine is in the same boat and can only unlock Force abilities by tapping into her darker emotions. I'm also going to predict that after Ahsoka's visions, which will probably take up most of the next episode, that since Baylan destroyed the map, Ahsoka will either use Purgil or the world between worlds to travel across space to reunite with Sabine in this far-off distant galaxy where Thrawn and Ezra are stranded. Before we wrap things up, I have a big announcement. This Friday on September 15th, I'm going to be releasing the opening crawl for my Shadows of the Empire fan film. It has already been exclusive just for patrons, but now I will be releasing it for everyone. If you don't want to miss out, be sure to subscribe and turn notifications on. There's been lots of progress on Scene 1, and I plan to release it exclusively for patrons in a few weeks and publicly later on. Become a patron today if you want early access in addition to a load of other benefits, as well as supporting the channel and expanded universe adaptations. Shoot me an email at starwarsfananimations@gmail.com if you want to support the project another way and become a member of the Star Wars Fan Animations team. You can also join the Star Wars Fan Animations Discord, link will be in the description, and find me on TikTok and Twitter/X. That's all for my analysis and review of Ahsoka Episode 4. Click here if you want to see my breakdown analysis and review of Episode 5.